Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I will be presenting about how USIM library implements elements of Maqasid Syariah in its management and services. This presentation will show how Islamic principle guide library's operation to promote knowledge and benefit the community. My name is Nur Kisina Bajisha binti Muhammad Zafi, and I will begin the presentation with an introduction to Maqasid Syariah followed by an overview of USIM library. Next, I will also explain about our problem statement and research objective of this study. Maqasid Syariah refers to the higher objective or purposes of Islamic law. Its main aim is to promote human welfare by protecting 5 essential elements, which is life, religion, intellect, lineage, and wealth. In an organizational content, Maqasid Syariah provides a valuable foundation to ensure that all the practices and values of an organization align with Islamic principles. The USIM Library serves as the main academic resources center for the university. Its aim is to expand its collection, improve users' information skills, and support research through study spaces and technical assistance. The library strives to become the center reference of Islamic information not only nationally but also internationally. The library also places a great emphasis on implementing Maqasid Syariah in its practices and services, ensuring that Maqasid Syariah embedded in its daily operations. The problem statement is to understand how USIM library implements elements of Maqasid Syariah in its operation and services. Based on that, the research objective is to identify how these objectives are applied in the library's management and how they promote the knowledge preservation. This also shows that Islamic principle can guide modern libraries management in achieving both academic and spiritual goals. And now I will hand over to Anis Naslira to explain the literature review of this case study.
Okay, so 2.1, the concept of Maqasid Syariah. Maqasid is plural of Maqsad, meaning purpose or direction. Syariah originally refers to sources of water, symbolizing life and guidance. It represents Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala law and teaching in faith and practice, guiding Muslim in all aspects of life according to recognized school of thought. There are 5 main objectives of Maqasid Syariah. First, Hifzul Aqli, preservation of intellect. Second, Hifzul Nasab, preservation of lineage. Third, preservation of property, Hifzul Mal. Next, preservation of religion, Hifzul Din. And the fifth one, Hifzul Nas, the preservation of life.
2.2 Apply Maqasid Syariah in modern organization. Why Maqasid Syariah matters in modern organization? The first one is because it moves beyond narrow financial metric to ethical, social, and spiritual dimension. And the second one is because it strengthens the organization credibility, governance, and long-term sustainability. And the last one, it's harmonized business goal with social justice, fair wage distribution, and corporate social responsibility. Islamic jurisprudence, adapting to evolving needs. As human civilization advances and society needs transform, Islamic jurisprudence has demonstrated remarkable adaptability. It is to ensure Islamic law remain relevant across generation and culture without compromising its core value. The relation with maslahah to unlock the innovation. The first one is the purposeful design, where maslahah is the concept of public benefit and interest, shape policy explicitly designed to address human requirements and community welfare. And the second one is dynamic adaptation. This mechanism fosters organization of innovation, vitality, and adaptability to enable social policy that evolve with contemporary challenge while maintaining the ethical integrity. And the last one is sustainable growth. By centering human welfare and collective benefit, organizations create a relation system that generates long-term value for all stakeholders. As a closure, we're gonna look at the alignment of Maqasid and SDGs, which is Sustainable Development Goals. Analyzing the UN SDGs has revealed that while they are not created from a religious perspective, most of the goals still resonate with the principle of Islamic law, which is Maqasid Syariah. So this has indicated that Islamic development is naturally sustainable because the preservation of life is a core of core Islamic law. So this principle ensures that any development initiative is designed not to harm the ability of future generations to meet their needs. Case study of Maqasid Syariah in educational institution. The first one is preservation of religion or Hifzuddin. The preservation of religion denotes the safeguarding and maintenance of the Islamic faith, making certain that its essential principle and practice endure over the time and that Muslims retain robust bond with their religion. To illustrate, the application of asset-based community development method improve Quranic literacy via Tahsin education in rural Aceh community. And the second one is preservation of intellect. When considered within the framework of Aqidah, the function of safeguarding Aqli within the framework of Aqidah is to strengthen Muslim faith and conviction. In addition, when looked from the perspective of civilization, the intellectual is also responsible for improving the human condition for the better. This is because an irrational intellectual obstruct further development and easily susceptible to thought that are against the Islamic worldview. And the third one is preservation of life, Hifzun Nafs. The preservation of life is described as safeguarding the continuation, maintenance, and progression of human existence by satisfying fundamental requirements including physical, spiritual, moral, and social needs, while also shielding it from danger whether arising from human action or natural causes. And the fourth is preservation of progeny, Hifzun Nafs. The preservation of future generation as an objective of Islamic law is fundamental achieved by safeguarding the stability unit of the family. And the last one is preservation of property, Hifzul Mal. We must safeguard our assets and acknowledge the significance of property ownership and its financial implications. In Islam, allocation within society is acknowledged as way to achieve al-falah. In Islam, no one is allowed to infringe upon and seize the property of others unless there are lawful dealing and valid justification established as mentioned in Quran.
Okay guys, we will move to the next point, which is 3.0 methodology. Methodology is how the way we do something. Means from 3.1 until 3.4 we will see what is the methodology that have been used in this study. The first one is research design. Research design is a plan or a structure of how we will do the research. As we can see here that we use the qualitative case study. Qualitative case study only focus on one case, but we will study it in depth. We will use the data like interviews or documents to collect the information. As we can see here that we only focus on USIM's library in this study. Next, we move to the data collection method. We have two methods here. The first one is semi-structured interviews. Semi-structured interviews is half planned and half open conversation. For example, we prepared 10 main questions to ask to the respondent about the study. But the respondent says something like interesting. So we can ask an extra question to them to know more about it. The next one is document analysis. Document analysis is we analyze the document like report or letter to know more about this study. Next, we will move to the scope and limitation of the study. As we can see that we only focus on USIM's library. So, the scope must include what is the facilities that available, what is the services are used, okay, all of this. Alright, the next one is limitation. This study include many of limitation. The first one is our study is limited to one respondent only. Okay, it is because of the time limit, so we don't have much time to do to more than one respondent. Okay, the next one is limited time. It related to what I just said just now, means we don't have much time to analyze the data. Okay, the last one is budget limit, means we don't have much budget to do a larger scale of this study. Okay, the last one is interview method. Okay, we have 3 interview method here. The first one is interview protocol. Interview protocol is a guideline on how the interview will be held. Alright, so among them, we need to put a question that include 5 of principal Maqasid Syariah. Okay, which is protection of life, religion, intellect, wealth, lineage, okay, all of them. The next one is respondent selection. Respondent selection must be someone who knowledgeable and experienced. Alright, so we choose Deputy Chief Librarian 2 and Cik Hafizi. Okay, the last one is interview process. As you guys know that we will use the interview as semi-structured interview, so about 30 to 35 minutes this interview was carried out.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. For this part, I will be explaining about section 4.1, which is the role of USIM library. The library plays a very important role in supporting both learning and research activity at USIM. It helps enhance student understanding, teaching and learning in line with the university's mission of building a culture of knowledge. One of the main responsibilities of the library is to provide reference materials. Resource acquisition is carried out both physically and online. In 2024, around 200,000 ringgit was used to buy physical books and 1.2 million ringgit was allocated for online database such as Request, Lexis and CLJ Law, and also Exact database for Arabic studies. Besides that, the library also offers various learning spaces such as discussion room, individual study carrels, teleconferencing rooms, and modern learning areas. Move on to the next section, which is 4.2. I will explain about the analysis of Maqasid Syariah implementation in the USIM library. The first element, which is religion, Hifzuddin, is shown through the library's control of reading materials. Books that go against Islamic beliefs, such as those supporting the Shia school of thought, are restricted to protect users from misleading content. For life, Hifzuddin's safety is ensured through regular inspections by the Occupational Safety and Health Committee and maintenance reports via the MyArif system. Under Intellect Hifzul Aqli, the library develops student critical thinking through programs like the book review and human library. Lineage Hifzulness is preserved by promoting article knowledge use and using Turnitin to prevent plagiarism. And finally, property, Hifzulmal focuses on financial integrity, whereas the library manages its budget responsibly and seeks for extra income through rental rooms and programs. For section 4.3, I will share about the successes and challenges of the USIM library. One of the biggest achievements is the Research Repository System (SRP), which compiles research works from lecturers and students. The system promotes global access to knowledge and increases USIM's academic visibility. Another great success is the Koha system, an in-house library management system that has saved nearly 1 million ringgit in maintenance costs. It also made USIM a model for other institutions. These achievements show the library's innovations and strong commitment to excellence, even while facing challenges, to maintain continuous improvement.
Okay, as a summary, we can conclude that USIM's library strongly apply all of the 5 principles of Maqasid Syariah, which is protection of life, religion, intellect, lineage, and wealth. Okay, so they ensure that all of their reading materials is in line with Islamic law. They ensure the safe environment in the library for students in USIM. They manage their budget efficiently. So all of this is an evidence that we can see.
Okay, 5.2 recommendation for Hebrew nouns, preservation of lineage, morality and ethics. Library need to provide an ethical environment such as poster and dress code and ethics. Organize awareness campaign on seeking knowledge and respect for teacher. Moreover, set up motivation corner with Islamic quotes and wisdom, and last but not least, promote value like respect, tolerance, and cooperation through library activity. Okay, next for Hifzul Aq. Okay, next for Hifzul Aqli, supporting student intellectual and academic development. I think library need a 24 hours study room, offers flexible study time, a quiet and safe environment, and support students with limited or unconductive study space at home. Okay, and last but not least, for Hifzul Al-Mal, establishing a litter-free library on campus. I think the litter-free library promotes reading and knowledge sharing through a take a book system, making books easily accessible while encouraging sustainability and responsibility.